All right, Brandon, thanks for coming back again. And we're kind of switching lanes here. We're going from the medical marijuana and how it's fixed your pain versus opiates, and now we're going to the stock market.
All right, little 180.
So what are you doing for a living now?
So I was originally cutting hair for the last 4 years. Just started getting into trading options and calls in the stock market a little bit around October of last year, 2019. And after this big Tesla run up, decided to quit my job and just fully do it full time for now. Things are going pretty well. I'll say that.
So now, when you started to get into the stocks, how much money did you have?
I started with $1,500.
You started with $1,500. Okay, and then you started.
I just started learning to trade myself. We lose a little bit of money here, make some money here. Nothing crazy. I mean, I looked at it this way: if I can make an extra $500 a week trading stocks, that's an extra $24,000 for the year, it's a nice little pay grade upgrade for doing. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up when you got a full-time job also. And then you get a little bit better at what you do. You learn the market more, how everything evolves, interacts with each other, Chinese stock markets, European stock markets to the American markets. And I went pretty full head on into this Tesla run. And that was able to make me quit my job pretty much. I could have lost a lot of money putting into it, but it paid off pretty well. And so kind of just relaxing for right now.
So now you made $300,000.
A little bit north of that.
In the month of August.
In the month of August, yeah.
Off of Tesla.
Yeah.
And how'd you do? Like, what happened?
So Tesla was.
Actually, before I ask you that, I want to ask you, because I see this on the news all the time. So before I get into how you crushed it, they say bull and the bear.
All right. So bull would be technically what I was during that run up. So bull is you're always expecting stocks to go up, while the bear is they always want stocks to go down. So for the last 10 years, I'd say we've been in a bull market where stocks are continuously going up. Not all of them, but the general market of everything has been going up, which is a bull run. When the corona hit, that was more of a bear market because you saw how everything, it was up, and then you just see the line straight down. That's called a bear market. That's when the bears come out. They bet on every stock going down. You're not going on airplanes anymore. Your cruises, travel, everything just falls down with it. Going to restaurants. And so that became a bear market until, because of the pandemic, people get scared. They pull their money out. They don't know what's going to go on with their money. So you start pulling your money out. It becomes bear market territory is what you call it. And that's pretty much the difference between the bulls and the bears. Sometimes I can be a bear on certain stocks where I don't think they'll miss earnings. And I think that because of when they miss earnings, shareholders get mad and the stock goes down. So calls and options, you can make money on the stock going up, and you can also make money on the stock going down, which is the good thing.
Okay, so now you have $1,500.
So I started with $1,500 in October. When I got my W-9 back, I had it was a little under 10,000. So I flipped 1,500 into, I think it was 9,800 that I had. And so I'm like, okay, I did all right. Like I tripled my money in less than 3 months. So then I started playing with a little bit more money. Instead of playing with 1,500, I was playing with 10,000 now. And you do account management. You're not risking all of your money on one trade. You're put a little bit of money on here, see how it goes. You make money, you pull out, sell it, make your money, and that's how it goes. And then when it came to Tesla, I went kind of against my guard and went full force on it. I mean, I could have lost 25. It was like 30,000 into Tesla calls. And that was when Tesla was around like $1,300, $1,400. And I had a bunch of calls on Tesla, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600.
Okay, when you say calls, what does that mean?
So a call is your right to purchase a stock at a selected price.
Okay.
So what that means is, every contract is worth 100 shares of a company. So you can exercise that option. So if you say you like Apple and you bought one contract and it was worth $1,800, it's almost like putting a down payment down to purchase the rest of those 100 shares. So the $1,800 down, if it's one contract, so 100 times 100 is 10,000. So that $1,800, you're almost putting down 18%, like buying a house for that. Now, you have expiration dates. So if you have an expiration date for months down the road, and you want Apple to go to 105, $105 stock price. So what that means is when it goes over that 105 and you have ample amount of X amount of time still left on that contract, that drives the price of that contract up. Because now people are like, wow, if it's going up over 105 already in 2 weeks, what could it be at in 3 months? So what people try to do is they'll try and buy that contract, which makes that price of that contract go up, because then they'll unload that contract, get the share price of Apple at say $100, and then when it goes up to 130, well, they made $3,000 because it went up 30% of what it was. So you had a 30% return, and that's how you.
What's the expiration?
Expirations can be any at any time. So there's an expiration for every if the company allows derivatives on it. The expirations are every week, every Friday. Boom, every Friday.
But what does that actually mean? Every Friday, every Friday.
So say you have an expiration for next week on Apple for a $150 call. You think Apple's going to go up $30 the next week. If it doesn't, that contract is worth nothing.
So you lost your money.
You can lose all your money on that. It goes worthless. It's a fake amount of contracts that you can buy technically, so to speak.
Okay.
So I had a lot of money in Tesla calls, which I could have lost a lot of money. But when they offered that 5-to-1 split, it shot that stock up.
And what's a 5-to-1 split?
So for every share that you have, you get four more back. So if you have 10 shares, you now have 50 shares.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I buy one share
before that stock split, yeah. So for every one, if you bought one at $1,500, it'd be worth $300 a share. So you would have 5 shares at $300.
So I could buy one share, and when they were doing this, you would get 5.
Yep.
1 for 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was what.
And is that what made you get into the Tesla?
Yeah. So I was in it at the very bottom. If you kind of look at this chart right here, it was actually even below the $300 mark, because you got to think all this. If it's at $500 right now, divide it by 5, times it by 5, that's $2,500. 24 is 2,000. 300 is 1,500. It was at 1,370 before 1374, I think, when they announced the stock split, and I had 5 or 6 contracts, which was worth about like $25,000-$30,000 worth, and I had some out in March of next year that it was going to hit $1,800, so it had to go up $400, which is a lot. Which is, I mean, it sounds easier to say now, but you don't know at that exact moment what the stock's going to do. Nothing. I mean, I just went ballsy on it, and I look at Tesla as just not only just a car company, but a future company of everything. They have eugenics, they have the solar power, they have getting rid of fossil fuels. They have a lot going on with not just strictly cars alone. They have everything that can just take away or create clean emissions, which is
now
the main goal
SpaceX is separate from Tesla. That's a different.
But I feel like Tesla kind of jumps up sometimes when the companies do well. I feel like it also plays a role in that stock price
the other
as well.
one.
Yeah. So I went full on. Could have lost a lot of money, and I mean it paid off. So I got it kind of down below that $300 mark, and I sold it at that $500 at the top right there, and you can see how much it dropped off.
So you sold it right around August 31st. Is that when you sold it?
Around August. Yeah, around that. I had so many that I was selling a few at a time. So I would sell this one, and it would pay for this one, and it would pay for these 3. And then I would sell this one, that'd be pure profit. Then I'd sell this one, that'd be more pure profit. You know what I mean? And then I'd buy more with those profits as it kept going up. I had 1,450 calls, I had 1,500 calls, I had 1,610 calls, I had 1,700 calls, all the way up to the 2,300 that I think it got up to before the stock split. And I was just selling them. Like I purchased one of them. The best return that I had was I bought an 1,800 call for Tesla for a little over $8,000, and I sold it for $67,000 in less than a week. It was
so now when you did that, you spent how much?
It was $8,000 on Monday.
And then how many shares did you get out of that?
I exercise it. So it's just one contract. It's worth 100 contracts or 100 shares of Tesla if I wanted to exercise that.
Yeah.
So it would be 1,800 divided by 5 would be 300, so it'd be $30,000.
Now when you say exercise, what does that mean?
Exercising is, okay, so if the Tesla stock is at 1,800, you buy divided by 5 now, we're doing this with increments, that'd be $300 a share. So it would be you would have the right to 100 shares of Tesla at $1,800, aka $300. So 100 times 300 is 30,000. So you have the right to buy those shares, and now you see where it's at right now. Technically, it's at 372. So if you bought, so you'd have 72 times 100. That'd be $7,200 that you would have made already from being able to buy that contract. So not only I made money, whoever I sold it to also made money. You know what I mean? So it's a long game of how it goes. But also on the other end, the stock could have gone the opposite way, and I would have that 8,000 would have gone to 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, and been worthless. You know what I mean? But it didn't play out that way, and I'm kind of a risk taker, so I really wasn't worried about it, so to speak. So I just kind of kept putting more money into it, and just kept riding the bull wave, is what I called it, all the way up to the tippy top, and then.
Then you had the discipline to say, okay, what was it? August 31st is when you hit big.
Yeah, well, it was the week that it went from. I think it was the week before that. I had a bunch of 1450s that I literally overnight I woke up and it was like worth like 135,000.
And what's 1450?
So when Tesla was at 1370, the stock price was, I had a bunch of 1450 calls, which I was expecting it to go up $70, and they expired in 2 weeks. And when it shot up to $1,800, every penny over 1450 is $1 for as many contracts. So think about $450 in penny wise. That's 45,000 penny, or no, that's 450,000 pennies. So I could have. I mean, the amount of money you make is not always specifically what it was, but it's around that.
Now, when you say pennies, what's pennies?
So like for every contract, the way to word it is for every penny it goes over the stock price that you want for as many contracts.
Like we're talking actual penny?
A penny is $1 pretty much.
Okay.
So when it goes over that break even point of 1450, every penny that it goes up over that, if I have 10 contracts, every penny is $10. Then it goes 10 pennies. If it went to 1450 to 1450 10 cents over, that'd be $100. And it goes up to 1451, that'd be $1,000. 1460, that's 10,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes up exponentially at a very fast rate. And I shot them up. Those sold for like 135,000, I think, and then bought more in at a 1,600 call, $200 out of the market. They shot up another $300 the next day. Sold those ones, bought into $1,800 calls, sold them, then bought $2,000 calls, sold them, and then worked it all the way up to the top, and then sold it. Once it started going down a little bit, started losing profit.
So in total, you in the month of August, you made $300,000.
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Okay,
yeah.
So you took the $300,000, and then how much did you actually put in the bank account?
I put like a little over 100,000 in the bank.
Okay, and then what'd you do with the other 200?
I put it back into stocks.
Did you get crushed?
No,
because it went down.
No, I bought. I bought Tesla. I was buying shares before the stock split. So my share price already on the stock split was low. So it hasn't even touched the price of what it's dipped down to. I've already have it. Mine's at the price of my shares are like roughly like $312, and you see it's at $372.
Yeah.
So I bought it right once I made that money. I invested 100 shares right back into it right away.
Now, do you have any other companies?
I bought a bunch of Apple on that stock split too. I got roughly 500 Apple shares.
But didn't Apple just go down?
Yeah, they did. So I bought all of them before that big run up when it was in the $400 range. So 4-to-1, it's at $100. I think it's at like 117, 118 right now. So I was up more when it was in the 130s, but I'm not looking to sell it as a quick moneymaker. I'm looking 10 years down the road of how Apple's going to be. So I like my share price that I'm at. I have a lot of shares of Tesla and Apple, and I'm not looking for a quick sell. If I need a quick sell, usually if I buy a stock, I plan on letting it sit there for at least 5 years and just let it marinate. You know what I mean? And then sell.
So you made the $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could have taken all $300,000 and put it in the bank account if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I got to pay taxes on all of it.
Yeah,
so
right.
I got a fat bill coming at the end of the year.
But you decided to put somewhere around $100,000 into the bank account and then reinvest and just let it sit.
Yep.
And you can pull it out anytime you want.
I mean, I have
because Apple and
I have the card right here, so it's like hooked up to my. I had a lot of it on Robinhood, so this is kind of like a black card now, almost. I like to call it.
Yeah.
Once you put it,
show it up there.
A black card right here. It's like all the money that you have for buying power
Yeah.
for stocks, I can just use that as a debit card and buy things.
Really? And
Yeah.
how do you get that?
You got to sign up for it. When they offered it, I signed up immediately back in October, and it took me like 4 months to get it.
Wow.
But I got it now. I mean, it's easy. You can take cash out. I went to Vegas. I took a few thousand out, used it.
So you put the 100 on there?
No, I got the 100 in my bank account.
In your bank account.
But I have buying power in all my portfolios. You know what I mean? But none of them have a card like that where you can just use your cash right then. You'd have to wait for it to transfer to your debit account, and then you could use your debit account, which it takes 2 to 3 days for it to settle once you sell something, and then another 2 to 3 days to get it back on the card. So being able to just use it right then is very, very fast.
So like right now, they went down.
Yeah, they went down a lot. So I
mean, how much do you have in them right now?
I have,
because you took the 100K, you deposited it.
I probably have like 45,000 in Tesla right now.
Okay, and then how much do you have in Apple?
Like 25,000, 30,000.
What'd you do with the rest?
Just kind of let it sit on it. I bought a bunch of other shares. I bought a Bitcoin. I bought a bunch of the airlines. I mean, I invested a great deal of it just to let it sit there because I think of it as a retirement fund. Put it in IRAs. I have multiple accounts too, so I put it in some other accounts. This one is like my long-term stock portfolio, so I don't have to look at it. This one's a trading account. This one's another trading account. But I also made money on the stock going down. So I bet on Tesla going down after that, and I had puts, and I was making money on the stock going down. So after I made money going up, but the scary part with letting something go down, it's when do you think it's going to go right back up? And that's what that's why I say I'm a bull, because I don't ever want a company to go down. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to play it that way, whether you like it or not. But it is.
I mean, 300,000. 300,000.
It's a wild ride.
And what did you, before we came on air, what did you show me on the phone?
Oh, just like what I woke up to that next morning. Yeah.
That was the screenshot of when you hit?
Of my account, yeah.
Yeah.
Like overnight, it was like up 106,000 overnight, which is fucking insane. Wild to think about.
And you have the screenshot of it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, send it to me. So that's just why you send that to me. I mean, that's insane. You know, a lot of people mess with.
I went from just a regular barber to like overnight.
Yeah, I remember coming in and you were doing that, and you were saying, you know, I'm investing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Never my wildest dreams. Like, it was just weird. I did not think that you could make that.
And to me, it's just so risky, you know. But
I could have lost 30,000 overnight if it went the other way.
Yeah,
I just got lucky, and I mean, I'm a risk taker. I mean, I've paid my money through being arrested, lawyer fees, a DUI before. So I mean, money comes and goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I lost it, it's all right. I'll just work harder and get it back. Well, I can't. Let me look for this thing.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it was.
And I just saw, while you were pulling that up, I just saw that the Netflix CEO just got busted with 13,000 child pornography.
So I was looking more into it.
Yeah.
I think it's a fake news story that was circulating.
Oh, you don't think it's real?
No, I was just doing some more research in between cuts, and I saw that I don't see a lot of like credible news stories, but I don't know. It could be true. It could be not. Wouldn't put it past me with that Cuties movie they just made, which is like the 11-year-old girls twerking, and it's just disgusting, all of that.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
The Cuties
I
movie?
did see it. That's on like TikTok, right?
Yeah, it's like gross. It's literally praising pedophilia, which I'm not with. So if you guys are looking, short Netflix. I think it's going to go down this coming week. Make you some money.
You think Netflix is going to get crushed?
I think it'll go down, yep.
I mean, how could it not, right?
I don't see it doing well. Especially with that movie, it's just weird. Yeah,
I'm trying to get it up, but yeah. So, would you recommend it? You know, if somebody's got a couple of dollars sitting around,
I would say if you're gonna do it, go with money that you're willing to lose. Think of it as because technically it is gambling, but a way I like to look at it is conjugated guesses based off of how market trends are going. So it's not always like a surefire. Like, I mean, if you're just picking a random stock and saying, "Oh, I think it could hit that," then yeah, that's gambling. When with the research that I'm doing behind things of technologies that are coming out, how other companies are working with this, you get pretty good estimates of where stock can go from there, and that's where you base your numbers off of after that, where you get into a call or a put.
Yeah. And what made you like actually like super get into it like that?
So I had a friend who got me into it, and he was traveling all over the place, doing whatever the hell he wanted to. And I'm like, dude, what do you do? Like, bro, we went to high school together. How you living like this? And he told me, he goes, that's what I do. And he goes, I just travel around and I live in different areas. Like he has a house and he travels the rest of the year, and wherever he's at, he was will trade from that time zone. So I was in Vegas last week. And I was waking up at 6:30 in the morning trading. I was on vacation working. I go to
Now,
Chicago
now how
on
much
Monday.
time do you have to put into this to get this right?
Sometimes you just let it sit on there, and then other ones are quick 5-minute, 10-minute ins and outs. You get in real quick, and then a stock makes a $2 to $3 increment move, and then you get out and take your money. The thing with this is greed, because you can look at the return as it's going up over and over and over. Like I did a SPY put. That's at 1653 too. That's not even when it got to 2300.
Okay, so this was the day that you woke up and you
Yeah.
were like, I hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so explain what all this is here.
So I had like I think 1550 calls. So this right here was $33,000 more overnight. It was at a little under 77 before that, or 73. So I think I think these are 1550 calls. So you see how it's almost $404 over it, and then there's the increment of what it is.
Yeah.
Like I was saying with the dollar per penny.
Yeah.
That would be how it. That's kind of the numbers right there. With
And
it.
that was the day you woke up and you said,
I
"Oh
was
shit!"
like, what the fuck? And then I just held on to them and I just let it keep going up and up and
Yeah.
up. Yeah. And that was kind of. I was like, this is insane to do this. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
You can do this. It's a reality. You know what I mean? So
That's
now I'm
crazy,
just kind
man.
of
And how old are you?
26.
26, and you just hit 300,000 in a
Feel like I hit
month
the lottery.
off the stock
I feel like I
market.
hit the lottery.
Man, well, during the coronavirus
During
too.
the coronavirus, yeah. And the coronavirus got me for I lost like 10 grand when everything dropped in stocks myself. So I mean that hurt. Well, I lost 10,000 like overnight from it because of that. Because everything just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and you held on to it a little bit longer, thinking it's not going to be that bad, and it just goes shoot, 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 and you're like, okay, I got to sell before you bleed it any longer. And I mean, I went out of a job for 3 months, so I needed the money. I don't know you know what I mean? You don't know the future. That's the scariest part about the stock market. You don't know futures with money. So people start taking their money out because they're like, dude, how bad could this be? It's the unknown is the scariest part about the stock market.
Now, do you think you could coach somebody on how to do this?
Yeah, I train a few people in charge.
Do you have an email address that you want to give out?
Let me create a business one first.
All
Things are
right,
still
go
trying
ahead.
to get off the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah,
after-
yeah. Well, you just hit it.
It hasn't even been a whole month yet.
Yeah. When you come back in with the other stuff,
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
go to that. But yeah, I mean, this is really interesting. I mean, $300,000 in a month, man, on the stock market.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like I said, I remember you talking about it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
And then bang,
out of
I mean,
nowhere.
that's
Like,
crazy.
Like I even told my dad, and he was like, "Do you want me to invest some money with you and make me some money and get a
Yeah.
percentage?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can work something out." So if it's working, I'm just gonna keep riding with it. And the good thing about doing options and calls is you can make money both ways, going up and down on the stock market.
On the bull and the bear.
Yep, you can
Yeah.
be a bull one day and be the bear the next. Like the last 2 weeks with Tesla, it would have been a good day to be a bear because the stock just kept going down and down and down. So you make money on the stock going down.
Well, I think Apple was a good move because the new iPhone is going to be out.
Yep, it's coming out in September.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's going to shoot the fuck up then.
Yeah, and Apple's not going anywhere.
No.
They're a big
yeah,
company.
yeah. So maybe. So now.
So you see their stock split they just had, right? The 4-to-1.
Yeah.
If they never had a stock split yet, one Apple share when they opened their IPO back in the 80s would be worth $26,000 today. If you
Yeah.
held that one share, you would have that many shares that would equal 26,000, which is an insane amount to think about.
And they do buybacks, right?
They do. I think Tesla just did a buy.
But I mean, Apple does it too.
Yeah, I
Or
believe
they-
so. Mhm.
Okay. And real quick, what is a buyback?
A buyback is when they buy. So
Oh, they buy their stock
they
back.
buy their stock back from.
Okay,
Yep,
from you.
Yep. So they take less shares out, which kind of drives the price of the market up.
Okay.
When it's a 10-to-1 split, sometimes it goes either way. Like Tesla, it was such a high price before. It's very expensive to spend $1,800 on one stock. It's a lot easier to spend $300 on that same stock, which is why they split it, which it created 5 times more shares in the market, which it was already a very hyped up company. Everyone was trying to get on that jazz, that wave. So it poured even more money into it because people were like, all right, I'll spend that $1,800 now or 2,000 now because I know I'm going to get 4 more shares out of it.
I see.
You know what I mean? Versus when you don't know a stock split's coming, it's why spend 2,000? Like I don't even have an Amazon share. Like why would I spend $3,500 on an Amazon share? That's a lot of money.
So you don't even know when they do the split.
It was. I mean, I had a feeling it was coming with
I
batteries.
mean, how do you know when they're going to do the split?
Just with how crazy the price was, like for that to shoot up to $2,000 is insane. There was only like 2 other companies that were like high. It felt like higher than that, which is Amazon, which people still think of Tesla as just a car company, but you don't realize how big the company can go in the future 10 years from now, 2030, which is I think the hype of the Tesla is creating that easy battery that goes for a long period of time. It's fuel efficient, creates no emissions, and that's where the new age of everything is going into, that futuristic stuff, which is very, I think, beneficial for having a share in Tesla or anything. I mean, I believe in the company.
So you'll stay with Tesla?
Yeah.
And Apple?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the 2 main ones?
Yeah, I always believe in them. So, I mean, if the stock on both of them drops more, I'll buy more shares.
But the split comes and goes. It's not like it's all the time.
You don't know.
Do you get like an email? I mean, how do you know that
they just announce it?
They just announce it and you just fucking rock.
That's it. Yeah. Like when Apple announced theirs, they were at 387, and they shot up to over $500 a share. They had a 33% increase. Tesla had a 900% increase. It was crazy. So I think they started doing it when the stock price gets to a certain point where it's too high to buy. So now when you split it, you now create all these more investors to go in that can now afford it. 5 times as many shares, 4 times as many shares. I think Amazon could do a split coming up just because of how.
Do you think they will, or do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I keep saying it. I think they could do it.
I saw Amazon is talking about they're trying to get approval to have drones drop off your packages.
Drop your package off.
Did you see that? What do you think of that?
I don't. I've never shopped at Amazon once. I don't like Amazon.
No,
I do not like Amazon.
How would they do that? What would they do? Take a drone and just drop?
Well, don't they have things where you leave your key there, and the delivery person can come into your house and drop your package in your house and then lock your house back up? Like it's too much. It's either you're there for your package or you're not there for your package.
But I think they're talking about just having the drone come in and just like put it on your porch.
That's
to avoid the traffic.
Yeah,
to get it there quicker.
I don't know how much I believe in all that. Like I think they're 5 years out of the road on that.
I mean, I don't know how they would get approval for it.
So I don't like any of it.
It's a huge company, though.
It is. It's fucking massive.
I think they're going to do it. But I think it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You have to have someone driving it.
You have to have somebody driving it, but they'll have that automatic. But you're taking away jobs by doing that, though, too.
Yep.
And
they're all about automation.
Yeah.
All getting rid of people, because you see them warehouses, they have thousands in there that they just once it's Christmas time, all get rid of them. Then they send the next crew through, and the next crew through.
Well, they beat the brakes off of USPS.
Because they don't pay no taxes. That's why I don't like them.
Well, see, they made that. Well, USPS made this stupid deal with them. I don't know why they did it, but they made a deal with them like, okay, if you ship, 500,000 packages, it's way more than that. We'll do every package in 2 days for $2 a package. Now, USPS was in the negative at the time.
Yeah.
Because the government takes money from USPS and puts it somewhere else. Because there's no way that the post office is negative.
Yeah.
They're just taking the revenue from USPS and putting it in other shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I guess because of that, before Amazon got where they're at now, they made a deal with Amazon. Look, we'll deliver these packages in 2 days for $2-3. And they're just getting killed. Now they're really getting killed.
Yeah.
And I think it was like
money off of it.
Losing money out the ass. And I think it was like a 20-year contract that they made with Amazon, with Benzo.
They knew what they were doing. There's a winner on that end. It ain't the United States Post Office.
So now it goes. So Amazon uses the post office, and now they got their own vans that take it and deliver it to you right away.
And the thing with Amazon too is their trucks, all those little Prime trucks, they're all independent contractors.
Really?
So when they get in car accidents and all that, Amazon has no
liability.
No liability, nothing. They don't even have liability with the things that you buy off the store.
Now, how does that affect their stock?
It hasn't really affected it too much. They're doing well. They're just because they're in everything.
Are they at $1 trillion?
Oh, they're at $1 trillion. They have to be at $1 trillion.
Damn.
Amazon's or not Apple's at $1 trillion.
Yeah.
They're up there.
Yeah. Tim Cook did a pretty good job.
Yeah, they've boosted that stock up pretty
I mean,
well.
too bad Jobs is around. It would be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
You think it's
I
good
think it'd
now?
be better. I think it'd be way
1,000
better.
times better.
Way better.
I mean, because the phone keeps looking the same every fucking time.
What I want them to do is slide it up. A slide phone. Like I think that'd be cool.
They won't
Pretty
do
cool.
it.
No.
No.
Because I hit all the I don't. The screen breaks so often. It's all a money grab because they make the screen easy to break.
Yeah.
So you bring your phone back in. You have to pay money on the phone again. They got you every which way you can go.
Which again, in the end, it helps the stock though.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
you're spending more money at the company.
Yeah.
That's why they changed the. First it was the fat one, and then they took. Then they made the small one, and now they took away the earphone piece, and now you have to get a new headset for it.
Yeah.
You have to get a new charger. You have to buy all new stuff.
They went to the lightning cable, and they're the only ones with the lightning cable. So it's not like an Android where that works for 17 different phones.
Yeah, and it works for cameras and stuff.
Yeah,
it works for everything.
But the lightning cable only works with Apple.
Only Apple.
But again, that's good for your stock.
Yeah,
as much of a scam it is. But I mean, but you got to give it to them.
Yeah,
I think
they're good at what they do.
I think that the new one, they're changing it again. The charger to like this iPad here. It's this is the 12-inch iPad Pro or whatever, and this isn't Lightning. It's USB-C.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So from what I understand, from what I read, is that the new iPhone will have the USB-C charger, which means now. So this isn't Lightning.
Okay.
You say this isn't Lightning. I mean this is not the Lightning. It's the one that you would put in the computer.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. So now, and again, this relates to your stock and everything else. So now on the next one, now all these lightning cables, if you buy the new one, are done.
You have to buy all new ones for all of them.
Okay,
now how much cords we got in here?
Now look, right now, what does this force you to do? And this all relates to the stock.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have your lightnings are done. Okay, now if you want to listen to something, what are you forced to do? You're forced to pretty much buy AirPods, or you could buy some other shit. But if you're going to go with Apple, if you're going to go with Apple, you're going to get the AirPods.
Exactly.
So now they're going to, and that's their biggest seller. That's their biggest seller.
Their AirPods are huge.
Huge.
I think everybody at that barbershop that I worked at had an AirPod.
Yeah. So now they cook it because, or you're going to buy a wired headphone with the USB-C. Who the fuck wants that?
No.
So you're going to go. So now you're going to buy the new iPhone because you want it because it's going to have something cool. I think they're putting the touch thing in there or something. Then you have a new charger. Now, if you don't have AirPods, you pretty much have to get them. But it's all great for the stock for you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say if you're out there right now, it might not be a bad idea. And they're constantly coming out with shit.
Yeah. Always. They always are.
They really are. So let's recap. So we have Brandon here, who had herniated disc, all kinds of back pain, all kinds of pain, doesn't want to take pills, goes to marijuana, medical marijuana, basically cures his ass. It feels good, no pain, didn't get addicted to anything. Then he decides to take 1,800, is that what it was? 1,500. Play around with the stock market.
It's been a year, almost a year now. So
yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
And hits $300,000 plus
in
the month of August.
Off just one stock.
Off just one stock.
Yeah.
That's correct. And it's up there. I mean that's the real shit.
That's when it was at 1653 too. That wasn't even the 1800 ones.
And then you deposit $100K or so and reinvest the rest.
Yep.
Unbelievable, man. That's two pretty fucked up stories, man.
Yeah, well, I guess some negatives turn into blessings.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
The next one we'll go back to the other stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Boss.
But this is good. This is really good.
All right, perfect.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.